are we all? For those of you who are new here, I'm Sam and I am a mentor over on at TRADERCOBB, and I'm going to take you all through the top 10 today, and my thoughts and whatnot. But I was a bit surprised to see the market react the way it did to the news of El Salvador. El Salvador announced that they're accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. I expected to sign into my account and see I'm worth, $2 gazillion and, I'm off to the races, but that wasn't the case. And I didn't expect that, but that just goes to show that's what this market is. It's just, you can never expect what's going to happen. It's just always unpredictable. And, sometimes you might anticipate certain things to happen and it doesn't, So, let's have a look at the what you're all saying. How are you all anyway? How are you, Callie, Dan, Martin, Bobby? Sailing Papao. I like that name. I like it a lot. Is this going to be the crash before the storm? Do you mean is it going to keep crashing, or is the storm the acceleration in price? It's so hard to say what's going to happen, but in times of volatility, a crash like this doesn't necessarily mean much. You'll see the price decrease, but then you'll see it bang, smack back up, and it's just recharging. But I was reading that apparently the onboarding for the crypto or Bitcoin over in El Salvador wasn't the best, so that probably had something to do with it. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily matter to me why, but I found it funny that the market crashed upon news like that everybody's calling for adoption. Everybody's the institutions are coming, everybody's buying up Bitcoin, and then a country starts accepting it as legal tender, and then I see Bitcoin down. It just it was it blew my mind. All right, I shall, Papao. So let's start off with Big Daddy BTC. First and foremost, I'll take it back to the monthly. So as it is right now, we have a red month so far. Will this be a lower high if we end up selling and break past that low? Don't know, maybe. Or will we continue onwards and upwards? We don't know. We do not know, but it's one of those times where when you look to the higher time frames that it could go either way. It really could. What do we do in times like this? Well, we execute as the markets allow us to. So as it is right now, the daily doesn't look the best. We had a sell-off yesterday, total selling of 19%. Selling off today, no real trend. So in terms of trading Bitcoin at the moment, for us anyway, it's a no-go zone. We saw mass amounts of selling. Look, we'd have to wait and see if any type of trend ends up presenting itself. But as it is right now, it's just a big sell-off for absolutely no reason. If anybody has any speculations of why it sold off, look, I don't let speculation affect my trading, but I dabble into it. I dabble into it a bit because it's fun. It's fun to speculate. We all like, not making up things, but we like speculating. We're curious. That's how we are as humans. So if you have any speculations of why the price sold off the way it did, hit me in the comments. I'm more than happy to talk about it. Also, if you haven't, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that jazz. It helps the algorithm wherever you are. If you're on Facebook or Snapchat. If you're on Facebook, Instagram if you're viewing it there, or on YouTube. we would appreciate that a lot. Anyway, Ethereum, it's sold off like Bitcoin, but I prefer the chart structure of Ethereum as it is right now. And the reason why I say that is because we had this level here, 1 test, 2 tests, and we sold off past that, but we bought back up through that level. So it's just going to show that technical analysis is legit. It works, it's real. For those, I assume if you're watching this right now, you think it works. But for those who say it doesn't, it does. It's real, it's legit. There's a reason why people make a living off of this stuff. But what are we doing? Well, this massive sell-off kind of makes these charts somewhat unattractive. So even if something were to set up here, this stop is just too wide for me personally. But yeah, I would have to wait and see what's happening here. If we do end up selling more, and we do make a downtrend, then I'm happy to go short. But as it is right now, it looks like the market just kind of, had a bit of a hissy fit and a dummy spit, and it threw its toys out of its pram, and it's just not liking it. I don't know why. I really don't, but I'm not the market maker or in charge of this market, so whatever it does, it does. So as I go up, Ethereum probably arguably looks better than Bitcoin, because we do have an uptrend here on the weekly. Monthly looks somewhat messy. We need to clear these highs to have a real proper trend, but yeah, weekly looks nice. We have a trend. It's very slight, but we have a low, we have a high, higher low, and then we have a higher high. So looking good on Ethereum so far. Nothing to panic about at this stage. And even if we do sell off, it's not a time to panic, really. It's a time to look for downtrends, or let downtrends find you. You take those if they do present themselves. Anyway, ADA. So we've come off a bit. If you've watched my previous videos, I spoke about this level here. We had to break it. We broke it, but we didn't close above, and we ended up selling off after breaking that level. So just goes to show that people were not confident with that level of almost $3. How do we look on the highs? Good night, mates. It's past midnight for me. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams, Callie. So we have a trend on the 4-day. I would say, yeah, the weekly similar. It's definitely an uptrend here. Monthly looks quite bullish. So what shall I expect it to do? Because you're tuning in to see my expectations here. So we pulled back to the 50%. And that $2 range held up pretty nicely on Cardano anyway. So what do I want to see it do? I want to see a trend start forming, and that is going to be the main theme of this video. Trends in the top 10 need to start forming, whether that's down or up. They need to start appearing, because as trend traders, we can't trade without trends. So yes, we need to wait. We need to be patient. We need to see what happens, because as of this stage, there isn't anything for us. Could you have taken something like this? I don't look, me personally don't like getting in on anything too erratic, and especially when the higher time frames are disagreeing with my trade direction. that's a personal preference though. Like, it's not to say that the way I think is the correct way, because you can still make money trading differently to me, because I know many people do. That's just me personally. Anyway, that $2 range held up nice. Let's see what Cardano does. Binance. So we had a nice run all throughout here. Pulled back, and then we failed to make a high on the daily. I would say everything would be quite wiped out till, yeah, the weekly. I'd say we pull back to the 61. Ever so close. Sitting around close to 400 US dollars. And we're in the cradle zone there. That's where we want to be. So let's wait and see what happens here. We're in the right area. Looks good on the weekly. But the daily and the lowers are disagreeing with that. What I would like to see, if I were to trade within the next few days, are the lower time frames start to shape up, whether that's up or down. You know, if selling continues to happen, then, you know, obviously I want downtrends to appear. These short and sharp movements don't really offer us many opportunities as trend traders, because it's not a trend, it's just selling. So, Ripple. Oh. Ripple, much like the ones before, also sold off. We have, let me just run this, 33% loss yesterday. It sold off 33% in total. Bought back up, but how are you, Winston? But as it stands right now, you know, I want to see these lower time frames shape up if we do continue to trend down, or the higher time frames to hold up. You know, the high, not really, it's not really telling me much here. Ooh, it's a new, I don't know if that's new or not, but scrolling on the, that axis there allows you to zoom. I didn't know that. I always, just click the mouse and zoomed on like that. Oh man, does this mean I need to work out how to short? Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're familiar with the strategies, which I hope you are if you're watching this video. If you're not, head over to TRADERCOBB.com, do the free courses, dip your toes in, see if you like it, and if you do, buy the courses, and then you will understand entirely how to short. If you don't, and if things still aren't clear for you, I'd highly recommend joining the community. You know, a lot of like-minded people in there trading the strategies, and you'll be able to ask us questions, do all that kind of stuff, and would be able to steer you on the right path. It is www.tradercobb.com, Winston. All right. You might need to bookmark that. Anyway. I've seen the course, but I think the community is the next step. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you know what to do. You know what to do, Alexis. You know what to do. We're all in there. You know, I'm in there. Once you get in there, hit us with the message. I haven't met anybody in that community that is unapproachable. Put it that way. Everybody's willing to help you. Everybody's nice. So, and it does help. It does help when you have people doing the same thing as you, trading the same strategies. You can ask some questions. It's always good. Anyway, XRP. Nothing else to say. We need the trends to shape up. So, Sol is the sole survivor. I'm going to wait for the round of applause. Yeah, I know. I should be a comedian, 100% comedian. Oh dear. Anyway, the reason why I say it's a sole survivor is because although it did sell off, it bought up quite a bit. And it's holding up as it stands. I stole that joke from, I think it was Tony. He knows who he is. I stole that joke. I can't claim it. I can't claim it. Even though nobody's probably laughing at it. I stole it. And I'm not one to plagiarize. All right, let's get into it. Because I'm blabbing on too much. But it's what I do best. Haven't necessarily had a proper pullback. Look, we sold off here on the daily, but bought back up. So would be good to see the price pull back, this trend shape up, and a small bullish candle present itself in that cradle zone, you know, and we'd do what we need to do. You know, this is probably the best looking trend so far anyway in the top 10. High highs and higher lows on this 12. Same as the 8. Really would like to see what Sol does, but as it is right now, due to the sell-off, there isn't much for us on Sol. Good old dodgy Doge. Bit of a sell-off. No real trend on the daily. Weekly's a mess. We're in no man's land as it stands right now. Would be good to see these lower time frames shape up, provide us with trend and an opportunity to short. As it is right now, where could we expect to go to on Doge or Doge? I say Doge. Somewhat of a level here, 16 cents. Nothing too strong. Hard one H bar. Confusion. I don't know what that means, mate. I don't know what that means. Anyway. Dot. So what are we doing here? Alright. We have not really much of a trend on the weekly. Not much data on the monthly. But it's just habit that I go up there. Let's see what we pull back to. Well, we broke the trend essentially. We broke the trend. So as it stands right now, there's no real trend on the daily. The reason I'm saying that is because we have a low, high. Now we have a lower low. So there's no trend. The weekly didn't have anything. I already checked, didn't I? I did indeed. Uniswap sold off as well. Sorry I'm late. Have I missed your top tips? You know, Bob, I accept your apology. You haven't. Because the main message right now is that the market, it's just sold off and we don't really have any kind of, don't really have any opportunities in the top 10 anyway, jumping out to us. Need to wait and see what happens. You know, if we keep selling off, then, you know, I would hope that downtrends do present themselves rather than just a short and sharp erratic move like that. But as it stands, no real clear-cut opportunities to the upside or downside for that matter. So, Uniswap. No, mate. I had to answer your question though. I had to. The message is, as Craig would say, go fishing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm currently confined to 5 kilometers radius around my house right now because if you're from Sydney, you're in lockdown, and I am from Sydney. So I don't live near water. Unfortunately, I can't go fishing unless I go, unless I buy fish, put them in my bath, and fish. But I don't want to do that. So we pulled back to the 61.8% fib. We're now sitting around the 38.2. No real clear-cut opportunities. You know, that the spike ruins pretty much everything. So even if we were to see this turn bullish, this is just, the stop's too big, you know, and that's the fact of the matter. So we'll have to just be patient, sit on our hands. That's what we have to do. So let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash. No real trend on the daily. So we'll have a low, high, lower low. No trend. These time frames need to start shaping up. Whether that's up or down doesn't necessarily matter. Just needs to do it. Anyway, that is it for the market related content, or the top 10, I should say. Do any of you have any questions? Well, Jeffrey, you missed everything, mate. You missed it all. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm answering questions. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. More than happy to go through anything, really. Hurry up and finish so I can watch your replay. So, been trading the strategy for 3 months now, but leaving a lot on the table. Get too greedy thinking about potential runners. Sometimes just end up losing altogether. Any words of wisdom to combat greed? Well, it's a pretty dense question. I think I know what you're saying. If you're following the strategies, you have to be confident in the strategies and that they're going to work and that they're going to do their thing. If you're following trends with your stop losses, then you're never going to get the top and you're never going to get the bottom. That's the way the strategies are, and that's the way they're designed. They're meant to get that chunk in the middle, and I'm sure you've heard that many, many times, but it's something that you have to be comfortable about. All right? In times, you're never to know when you're going to get that 10x or that 100x or whatever x it is. But they do happen. So you have to keep executing as specified and just trust the strategies. Why wouldn't we buy this dip? Well, you could if you wanted to, but in the terms of the way that we trade, there's no reason to buy the dip just yet. If the rules are met, though, in a few days or hours, whatever, weeks, then yeah, you could. But as it is right now, there's no buy signal or buy sign. I shouldn't say signal, buy sign. No problem. Pow. Anyway. Well, I think that's it. Seems to be all the questions at this stage. Look, I'll see you soon. It was lovely doing this as always, and goodbye for now.